All right, you have heard it more than once this campaign season, Donald Trump complimenting Russia's President Vladimir Putin. Let's listen.
She talks about me, oh, Donald Trump likes Putin, and Putin likes Trump. Honestly, I don't know the gentleman, but you know what? He's been nice to me. If he's nice to me, if we got along with Russia, that wouldn't be so bad.
In today's Washington Post, two intelligence experts warned Trump about what his comments mean on the world stage. Mike Morell and Mike Vickers have served at the highest levels of Republican and Democratic administrations. Both now support Hillary Clinton, though, and in this open letter they write, quote, at the Commander-in-Chief Forum on Wednesday, you said that as long as Putin says nice things about you, you will say nice things about him. That is not a standard on which a candidate or president should make policy decisions. That should not even enter your calculus. Your only question should be, what is in the best interest of the United States? They go on to write, so here's a challenge. Demand that Putin stop his aggressive behavior overseas. Demand that he stop his dictatorial moves at home. Tell him that you will live up to our NATO commitments and defend the Baltics if need be. Tell him that you want to work with him on solving the problems of the world, but that he must behave in order to do so. That is what a true commander-in-chief would do. Let's bring in our global affairs analyst, Kimberly Dozier. She joins me now. Look, first of all, I want your reaction to this letter. This comes from two men very high up in the intelligence world who serve both Republicans and Democrats. Are they right?
Well, I think what you're seeing, Poppy, is a culture clash between two men who have read confidential intelligence reports that show all of Russia's worst misdeeds versus candidate Trump, a former businessman, who is using the language of, say, The Apprentice. Flatter your adversary, get them to like you, get them into the right position, then you go in for the kill. It's a sort of a deal-making kabuki dance. But the messages that he's sending, these intelligence professionals believe, are ones that signal weakness, the ability to influence Trump, rather than a stiffening of his spine in a future Trump administration.
So clearly, Putin is flexing his muscles with, let's look, I mean, these military exercises that have been playing out in Crimea. We just saw them in the Fred Pleitgen piece. He does that during the same week that Donald Trump comes out and says Putin is a stronger leader in his regime than President Obama is in his government. I should note, Trump said, I don't like the Russian system of governance, but still Putin is stronger there than the president is here. What do you think those two things together on the global stage mean right now? How important are they?
Well, I think what Trump is trying to do is echo some of what he's heard in Republican circles, complaints that the Obama administration withdraws forces while the Putin administration sends them into battle to protect Russian interests at various points on the globe. So I can understand why he's trying to echo Republican voters who have said, we look weak, Putin looks strong. Unfortunately, for him, and I think it's from inexperience, when you send a message like this while Putin is doing something that is actively defiant, actively undermining NATO efforts, U.S. efforts to help countries in that area stand up to Putin, well, he sounds like he's working with the opposition.
Well, here's a really interesting thing, though. The Washington Post had a piece on Thursday that stood out to us because they cite this 2014 Quinnipiac poll that actually shows that when American people, the voters, were asked 2 years ago about who's a stronger leader, Obama or Putin, they were tied. And then when they were asked about strong leadership qualities, more thought Putin had them than Obama. I mean, is Trump echoing the feelings of the American people?
Well, I think what you're picking up on, what the American people are picking up on, is Putin is very good at telegraphing power and being in power, even when he's on his back foot. When the country is suffering, his country is suffering under the effects of sanctions, what he does is blame them on another country, go on a campaign like sending troops into Syria to protect his Syrian ally, and look where they are now. A year later, the U.S. is agreeing to work with Russia to try to get them to bring Syria to heel, when the U.S. had been up to this point saying there was no way to work with the Assad regime unless Assad stepped down. To the Russian people, it looks like Putin got one over on the United States. And you can see from the American perspective, it probably looks that way to people who don't follow this closely as well. I mean, Putin is always willing to, in a game of chicken, go the extra mile, take the extra gamble, and he's rewarded for that back home.
Kimberly Dozier, our global affairs analyst. Important conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Coming up,